Most people know Lucifer Morningstar from the Bible, but in the show Hazbin Hotel, he is a goofy and lovable king. Lucifer, voiced by Jeremy Jordan, is a flawed ruler. He disagreed with God and fed Eve, the second woman, the forbidden apple, causing him to lead a rebellion, which got him cast down to hell. Lucifer builds an entire society with the help of his wife Lilith, the first woman, and later has a child named Charlie Morningstar. Lucifer shows his leadership characteristics and decision-making of a great leader through the tough challenges that cause him to grow and leaves a lasting impact on everyone who stands in his presence. He is even inspiring enough to get others to watch the show. Despite Lucifer being a goofy character, he still exhibits leadership qualities anyone could expect of their leaders. In fact, one of his best qualities is that he's a laid-back character who leads with an open mind. Thanks to being open-minded, he is always willing to listen to new ideas and even enact some of them. Another quality is that he is a persuasive person, so much so that he convinced Eve to eat the forbidden apple. Being able to persuade people is a valuable skill he uses to lead the people of hell. After his fall from heaven, he built up civilization and divided responsibilities, creating the 7 rings of hell, where he uses the quality of dividing responsibilities, creating a management that causes hell to prosper. In contrast to Lucifer having leadership skills that are expected of a great king, he still has to make decisions that sometimes aren't so great. For example, at the end of the season, Lucifer had to either stay neutral as per the contract with heaven, or he had to make the tough decision to save his daughter and fight for his home in hell. Another example of him making an important decision is when hell's population became too much. So Lucifer had to make the horrendous decision to allow an extermination of the sinner souls in the Pride Ring to be exterminated once a year. This extermination was allowed because sinners in the show are said to be immortal against everything except angelic steel. So he forced them to live in his ring. This decision was a hard one he had to make, but he did it to protect his hellborn citizens. Although some of the decisions he made were horrific, he still had challenges that allowed him and others to grow, just like how he thought that the sinners were terrible. But thanks to the actions of his daughter and her group of friends, he was able to see them in a better light, even going as far as to build a new hotel to rehabilitate them for a chance at salvation. Additionally, during the show, we see that Lucifer shut down after his wife left. And he went from being a renowned ruler to one that leads, but not in an effective way. However, in the show Hell of a Boss, several of the 7 deadly sins mentioned that he held meetings, which showed that even though he was going through depression, he continued to discuss important topics. Another example of a challenge he faced was when Charlie called claiming she needed help. Lucifer didn't wait. He sprang into action to help her. Charlie explained how she wanted to talk with heaven, but Lucifer was entirely against it. They had a fun musical number, and Lucifer finally agreed to help his daughter, even though he knew heaven wouldn't listen. Coincidentally, the challenges he faced were the reason he was able to leave a lasting impact on others. I have learned that sometimes taking a backseat approach to leading can be effective, but you have to be able to stand up when the time calls for it. Just like how Lucifer believed that humans had a right to knowledge and convinced Eve to eat the apple even though everyone else said no. Thanks to the lasting impacts Lucifer left, I have been able to take away that a great leader is someone who can listen to others, encourage others to grow, and always follows what they believe is right. I utilize all these principles every day. For example, when I have to mediate between my parents, I talk to both sides and get the whole story. I try to get them to talk to each other, and I will try to convince them to get to a point of agreement. Another example would be when I help my friends with math homework. I practice the approach of feeding them breadcrumbs until they understand the material. I give them small pieces of information that ultimately lead them in the right direction to an answer needed.